Okay, so what I want to do next is show you a pivot table design, or a number of different designs, that show divisionary type calculations, such as how much does each number that we have contribute to the total. And there's a couple different ways we can kind of show that. And I want to do this with both revenue numbers and profit numbers. And we'll add a little bit of filtering in there too. So without further ado, let's go ahead and we'll click anywhere on the data there. We'll hit insert and we'll go to pivot table, hit OK, and there we go. So I like to bring in, first of all, the country. So I'm going to drag country into rows. Then we're going to go ahead and bring in the companies. So we'll go and find our company field here. Drag that down into country, and there we go. Or into the rows area. So now we have our breakdown there. And then I'd like to bring in the revenue numbers. So we'll go ahead and find our total sale. All right, T-sale. Bring that into the values. Perfect. And now, we'll come back and format this later on. I want to get the information in first. So the next thing is, I want to show next to this column another set of numbers, percentages, that will show what percentage each one of these numbers is to, or I should say, how much are each of the company numbers that we have here, what percentage are they to Argentina? What percentage are they to Australia, Brazil, and so forth? All right. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to bring in the total sale again underneath the other one. That gives us a second column, and we're going to tell it this column we want to do that divisionary type calculation. So we're going to do a double click on the field heading, go back to show values as, hit the no calculation, and then choose percentage of parent row total. So all I got to do, hit OK, and there we go. So what it's saying is that Argentina is 1.83% of the total sales. In other words, that number is almost 2% of our overall total sales for all the countries, right? This number here is what Cactus Comidas is percentage-wise to Argentina. So this number compared to that, 36%. That number compared to that, 36% as well, and 26%. Now we're going to go ahead and bring in that total sale again, and just kind of put it underneath. Right there, you can see that little green bar there. Just let go there. And now this time I want to know what each one of these numbers contributes to, or what the percentages that they contribute to the total at the very, very bottom. So again, we're going to double click here, show values as, and the no calculation area will tell it that we want the percentage of the columns total, right? And there we go. So Cactus Comidas is barely 1% of the total sales contribution, I guess, to all of the numbers that we have here. So pretty neat. Now I can go back in there and change the labels here for the names here. I'm just going to make this one revenue. All right, make this next one revenue, and then slash percentage, and then revenue total. So RT, well, yeah, RT, I guess. RT slash percentage. You may come up with any label you want, doesn't matter. And then also I'll double click this, go to the number format, go to number, no decimal places, comma separator, there we go. And I think that'll be good enough. I mean, we can go, while we're in here, I go here to pivot table, go to my options, and tell it to merge and center the cells labels. Doesn't really do much. So I think we're good on that one. Now, that's great for the overall total, for the revenue. But I'd also like to see another side-by-side pivot table with the same, same fields and all that, but focused on profit. All right. So I think it's probably the easiest way, because we want to kind of maintain or keep the the format we have here. I'm just going to make a duplicate of this, put it over here, and then we'll swap out the fields. All right. So I'll click onto there, go back into Analyze, go back to my Actions, select Entire Pivot Table, right-click it, hit Copy, maybe go over to here, right-click it, and we'll go ahead and paste that in. All right. And if this bugs you because the width's not there, I can go ahead and just select F, G, H, and I, double-click the border here, and that'll give us nice column widths and all that. All right, so that looks good. Hit my escape to get rid of the ants. All right, now on this one though, we're going to get rid of revenue, and instead we're going to go with the profit. All right, everybody. So we'll go ahead and we'll take out revenue. We'll take out the percentage and take out the values. Okay, now we don't have a profit field. All right, we need to make one. We need to make a calculated field. In this case, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Analyze, right? And we're doing that while we're in here, right? So Analyze, and we'll go to Fields and Items here. Calculated field. We'll call this one, I don't know, we'll just call it PR for profit. And then the calculation will be, as before, taking the total sale minus the total cost. All right? And we're just double clicking those. We hit OK. And there we go. Now if we look at our field listing at the bottom here, you'll see that we've got the profit field. So that right there is this guy here. I'm going to take this, drag it down there once, and drag it down there again. All right. And I'll pull this up so you can see a little bit better here. All right. Now, what we'll do on this is the first one's okay. Now, this one we need to make into where it's doing the percentage within each of the groups, right? So we'll just go ahead and double click this. Go to my Show Values As. No calculation, percentage of parent row total, hit OK, there it goes. Double click this one here, Show Values As, no calculation, percentage of the column total, hit OK, and there we go. Perfect. And then we can go back into here, maybe call this one maybe profit. Next one, call it PRF/ percentage, and then PT/percentage, and there we go. Perfect. And that's it. Now I might go back to here and go to Analyze here. I'm sorry, Design here. Go to my styles, maybe make this one blue. Click on this one over here. Go to my design. Hit my drop down, make this one maybe green. Okay, so now we got them like that. I'm not going to add any extra spacing and everything. It looks good the way it is. Okay, now the elephant in the room on both of these is that the numbers that you're looking at are for all of the years. And we had kind of dealt with this a little bit in the previous videos. But what I want to do is I want to put in a series of different filters for each of these two pivot tables so that we can keep the pivot, nice and small, but still be able to focus in on specific areas very quickly. Now, what we're going to do in this case is I'm going to go ahead on this first pivot here, go back over in here and bring in the order date. I'm just going to bring the order date at the bottom here, and that's just going to bring in all that stuff, right? Just the years. But you'll notice down here, it brings in the years, the quarters, and the order date. So basically, we got the years, we got the quarters, and we have the months. That's what that is. Now, what I'm going to do, first of all, is take the years and put them up into filters now. All right. Take the quarters, all right, and then take the order date, and there we go on that one, see? So in essence, what we have now are these three fields. So we can very easily go in there and say, okay, I want to see just 2022, hit OK, and there's 2022, right? I want to see 2022, but only the first quarter. I can click on the first quarter, hit OK, and there's my first quarter. All right. And then I can go even further and say that I just want to see January. So there it is. So that's basically January, which is quarter 1, 2022. There's your numbers on that one, see? And you could add, other fields in there as well. I mean, we can go in there, we can maybe add zone in there, put zone for the next one. I could bring in maybe the rep. Go pretty wild with this, right? Go down to the rep and bring that in. Oop. Bring that about right there. Maybe bring in the life cycle. Oop. Oop, too far there. So life cycle. So it just keeps on pushing everything down here, right? And then we might have the common name. I don't know if we wanted to go that far with it, really. But you could add that in there. Why not? And then what else we can maybe do? Color. All right, and then also the bloom. All right, so there they are. I mean, look at this mess. So now I can go back in here, click on the first one, hit all, hit OK, hit all on that one. All I'm doing is I'm just clearing the filters. So now we're seeing everything. So now I can say I just want to see a particular rep. Click onto there, choose atoms, hit OK. There's atoms. All right. Go back in there, hit all, brings it back out. I just want to see sales of plants that are, let's say, spring type plants. Hit OK. I can see that. So that's pretty cool. Now I can do the same thing with my profit. All right. I'm not trying to bore you and have to do this over again, but I think this is a good review for all of you to see, and kind of go from there. But on this one here again, I would bring in the order date, just put it underneath here, right? And then I can take my years, put up there, take my quarters, put my order date there. Not bad, right? And then again, I can go in there and I can say I want to bring in my zone. I want to bring in my common name. I might not do it in the same order here, but bring in my life cycle, bring in my color, bring in my bloom, bring in my rep. All right, maybe not in exactly the same order, but you get the idea. Not bad. So again, I can go back in there and I can say now I want to see, as far as profit goes, I just want to see my fall product there, right? And that would be the fall product sold to all those different companies in those different countries. Now, another thing I could do is I could actually take maybe the, from the filter area here, maybe take the quarters and put the quarter underneath company. And I happen to be on this one here, so you can see that. So change it up quite a bit there. I could do the same thing over here. Go ahead and find my quarters, and then I can go ahead and pull that underneath the company on that side, and now I got a side-by-side with that. So now it's a further breakdown. Probably wouldn't make much. I mean, you could leave it like this, and then you could go as far as saying, well, as far as the years go, again, I can change that to 2022, hit OK, and there we go. So it turns out maybe in the year 2022, Cactus Comidas had no second quarter, Oceano had no first quarter or fourth quarter. So that's also telling as well. The other thought is swapping out some fields here. So just do some quick things here. We're going to take the company out, let's say. Drag that out. Find our zone. Now the zone is one of the filters, so we're just going to go back up here. We can drag it from here or drag it from here. It doesn't really matter. But I'll just take it from here. I'll take zone and put zone above country, right? And I've got something like that, see? So now, nice little layout here. We got our quarters. We have it broken down now by the territory of the zone as well as the country. That's kind of an interesting one. Now, I'll just do something else on the profit side here. On the profit one, I'll take the country and the company out, and we'll go with some other related fields. We'll go here to our life cycle. All right, we'll put that there, right? And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll bring in the common name. Now the common name is one of our filters. That's okay. I'll take common name, drag underneath the life cycle, right? Oh, no, you know what? Let me. It's in here. It's broken down here. So what I can actually do is just go back to analyze here, hit our plus, and that'll open up like that for us. So that was kind of interesting that it did that. All right, so there we go. So now I've got my quarter one and all that. Now, if I want to get rid of quarters, and maybe just say, you know what, get rid of quarters, find my years. I'll just do this one here. Drag years here, right? And then again, rolls it all up on me. So I'm just going to go back to analyze, hit my little plus here, and that opens it up there, drills it down, and there we go. So a lot of different ways you can do this. And if you say, well, maybe that's a little bit too much, detail, I don't really need to see the, whether it's, with that, I want to keep the common name, but I don't care about the life cycle. I can take that life cycle out, just like that, and now there they are. Pretty interesting. So a whole lot of stuff you can do with this. It's pretty interesting, though, how easy it is to make these different designs. It's just a matter of knowing what your fields are that you have to play with and kind of work it from there. But hopefully this will come in handy for what you're trying to do with your own information. I appreciate you watching the video. Take care.